Hi there, I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of freethinkingtools.com, mindset expert and real estate agent coach with this week's Monday Motivation. So this week I couldn't help but be a bit reflective as I thought back over this incredibly difficult recessionary period that we've had in the United States. And as a real estate agent, I have walked into a lot of homes where people have that look. You know they're in trouble. You know that they're lost. You know that they're almost feeling a desperation that perhaps they've never known before. You really get down into that basic needs type of conversation with people where they're really, for the first time in their lives, wondering, how am I going to put food on the table, number one, and number two, how am I going to maintain shelter and safety? I mean, those are Maslow's two basic needs as you move up on the hierarchy. So you know that they're disenfranchised and lost. So what do you do about that? Well, certainly I believe that I'm eternally hopeful that there's always a silver lining. And more importantly, having gone through it a lot, I've seen a lot of people get through it. And they really worked hard to do that. They did everything that it took to fight through, including just making that initial call out for help. So if you go a little bit further, though, you see that that puts a highlight on struggle in general. And struggle is not limited to tough economic times. And that made me really focus in lately on a lot of deaths that I've heard lately about kids dying from drug overdose. And that really crushes me. To think that these kids have gotten so low and so lost that they feel that their struggle has no meaning, so that they just turn to sort of this self-anesthesia mode and really put themselves in this dangerous, precarious position. And that is unacceptable, because it leaves this disastrous trail behind them, their friends, their family members, who now are struggling, trying to make sense of somebody else's failure to get through that struggle. So how do you deal with this? Well, I will highly recommend to all of you who are focused on struggle Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. And what an interesting title for somebody who was a Holocaust survivor to choose. What he's saying is that during one of the most unbelievably difficult struggles that anybody could even fathom, as a matter of fact, so many of us want to deny that it even existed because it frightens us that much, that this guy could find meaning in that? Well, Viktor mentions several things that spurred him through that struggle. One was that he found meaning in his work. He was actually a psychiatrist prior to becoming a prisoner, and it really motivated him to think that someday, after he'd gone through this, he'd have the opportunity to teach how he made it through and others didn't, so he could really fall in love with that work, and it transcended him out of that place. Then the second thing he had was that love of somebody else, that love and connection. That's right up there, number 3 on that hierarchy of needs. To have love and connection to his wife, who was separated, put in another camp, and subsequently she was killed during the Holocaust. So now, what's the big conclusion here? That there was meaning in the struggle itself. That no matter whether you want it to come or not, struggle is coming your way. And there is great meaning in it. It will pull you up by the bootstraps to challenge you to become the best that you can be. But you've got to search for the meaning in it. You don't quit on it. You don't give it up. You don't put it under the rug. You accept it, no matter who you are, young or old, whether you're suffering because you lost somebody or whether you are the person suffering. Find that meaning. Dig deep. Now, you know I'm a little bit passionate about what I do here, but nothing means more to me than helping people overcome this by simply understanding there have been thousands of people who have gone before us who have found the meaning and overcome only to achieve greatness. I want that to be you. So here's my passionate cry out. Find your struggle, embrace it with a bear hug, and find its meaning and live a better life because of it. Hey, I'm Danny Griffin with this most passionate Free Thinking Tools Monday Motivation, asking you that please, this time especially, if you have some thoughts, if you're struggling, leave them here. I will respond to them. I will give you the best help that I can, or I will push you in that direction at least to find meaning in your struggle. Share these along with people that are struggling. I'll see you next time on freethinkingtools.com, and thanks for tuning in.